What if being unapologetically me is exactly what sets someone else free? I'm Melinda, your host at Unapologetically Yours. Here and in life, I give my whole heart so others can show up as their true selves, loved without limits. Today, I pose a question and answer it for you. Are you an artist? Why, yes. Yes, you are. Do you have a studio? Maybe. Or definitely. The studio may not be physical, it's in your mind, and it can be discovered and excavated and revealed for all to see, or just you. How, you might ask? Well, I do know of a way, but I'm curious. Are you interested? Or are you skeptical? Or both? What if I told you that this method has actually helped millions of people? There are celebrity endorsements for this way, and there is a book, and it sold over 5 million copies. It's been a bestseller for 3 decades, and it's also been translated into 40 languages. What is this book? It's called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So, for those of you who want to know who famous has read this, I'll start with Eat, Pray, Love author Elizabeth Gilbert. She credits the book with enabling her success. There's also musician and songwriter Alicia Keys, who has spoken about the transformative impact on her creative life. There's actor and producer Reese Witherspoon, another prominent person who's sworn by the book's teachings. There's Scandal actor Kerry Washington, who called the book life-changing. Writer and investor Tim Ferriss has also publicly praised the book. Well, if any of you are out there and you know of people who are, let's say, amicably divorced, right? Like, they still say nice things about each other. Well, her ex-husband, a very famous and well-known guy, also has high praise for the book. Who is her ex-husband? None other than Martin Scorsese, the acclaimed filmmaker. So, how does it work? What I have discovered, and that's probably like the wrong language. There's 2 things that I found in the book that are very helpful. There are exercises. One of them is called Morning Pages, and the other one is called the Artist Date. So, how does it work? Every morning, right, because morning pages, although I have done it in the afternoon and maybe even evening, I think I've also done it like midnight, like after midnight, so it could count from morning pages. So it's a daily practice of writing 3 pages. And what this does is it just gets all of the first, gunk out. Just straight stream of consciousness writing. You could literally write anything. This is not typewritten because I searched the entire web. Can I just type it? Because I'm a fast typer. And I didn't want to have to write. I found that I identified I identified as a person who doesn't journal or who isn't good at journaling. And so, anyway, I did do it. I did work on it, and I have done it let me just get back. Let me just not off ramp so much. Okay, so what you do is you write 3 full pages. I have also, I don't want to call it cheated, but I've also written in like a larger font size. But what it is like, again, anything. You could write your grocery list. You could write, I don't want to do this. This is dumb. You can write a short story. That's what my husband did his first try. And I was like, okay, Mr. Artist there, which he definitely would not have considered himself, I think, at that time, an artist. So if I didn't say this, it unburdens the mind and it gets all of those first things out of the way, which leaves room. It opens the door for more to come through and come out. The other thing is a weekly solo date. All right, so it's not you and your man, your girlfriend, your spouse, your best friend, your child, your pet. Well, maybe your pet can come, but you go out and nurture yourself, and you are tapping into that inner artist, really like your inner child, and doing something fun. It could be going to the dollar store and buying $5 worth of crafts or something and doing something with that. It could be going to the beach by yourself, remember, alone, and enjoying the water lapping against the shore. I have taken myself on a movie date. I don't know if that quite counts, but I really like going to the movies, and I will go by myself if I have to. And sometimes I really enjoy doing that. Then there's a self-reflection exercise, which also is about clearing your head and offering a space to process frustrations and worries. So the artist's way isn't about becoming an artist. It's about remembering you already are one. It's tapping into the creativity that's already inside of us. Somewhere along the way, usually in childhood, right? In how we were raised, who we were raised by, in, I don't know, the practicality of our parents, I think, wanting us to succeed. We pick up fears and we pick up doubts. We pick up an inner voice too that questions, who do you think you are? And all of those things shut us down. Let me just give you an example. So back in the day, and maybe it's a current thing too, there was a perception of who artists were, how artists were, and that you can't get paid, you can't get funded, you're basically broke, okay, like a starving artist. That's, what is that word called, where it's something like, it's a stereotype, but a lot of times there are truths in stereotypes. So the starving artist, and parents will say, well, do that as a hobby. You can't make money off of that. You should pursue accounting or be a lawyer and just do that on the side. Whatever they say. And there are parents who, I think maybe even more these days, are opening up to allowing their children or encouraging their children to explore those things as potential first fruits or first ideas for them. I'm sure there are parents, and maybe it could also depend on the socioeconomic status of the parents, who might encourage their children to explore it because they've got a safety net. They've got the cushion. They don't have to work for a living. I don't know. But those of us, well, no, I'm an artist. I know that. Those people who are out there, those of you who might not consider yourself to be an artist, it's probably because there's some kind of block. Maybe you were discouraged as a child. Maybe, sorry for that soundbite thing that just happened. I saved the music piece for the ending, and I didn't realize that part of the channel wasn't muted. So, haha. So I have a friend who was singing in the car with a relative, and that relative absolutely shut her down, and she did not sing for years after that. But she's actually quite a good singer. There are other examples, but I don't really want to dive into all of that. What I do want to do is offer a confession. And I will tell you that I started the book. I did. I think I started it 2023. Michaela Sue was born in 2022, I think. And so I started the book, and I got to about week 5 or week 6, and I was not ready. I was not ready to face whatever was in those chapters, but it could have been, no, okay, so I'm going to tell you this other thing. I'm going to confess for other people. Not everyone finishes this book. You take that as a challenge. I do highly recommend looking it up, and I'm going to do a shout out to Sebastian. I know you're listening. So he went onto Julia Cameron's website and he bought the book directly from her, which meant, I don't know, maybe spending a couple more dollars, but also it meant not getting the book right away. But what I love about it was that he was trying to give her all of the stuff instead of doing what I did, which is just go on Amazon because I want it yesterday. Like when I press order, I'm opening my door. Is it here yet? Sometimes, maybe not that quick, but sometimes you can get it same day. So whatever your preference is, I do highly recommend add to cart, and it will be money well spent. And so back to this confession, mine and others, a lot of people don't finish the book. Like those blocks come up that they are not maybe ready to face, ready to tackle. So that happened to me, and I think it was about money. There have been money blocks for me. So anyway, I'm confessing that I didn't finish, but I'm also confessing that I want to start again. That sounds like a question. I'm going to start again. It's actually in a pile of other books that I intend to read. But as I was talking about it, I came up with the idea maybe I will start sooner than later, and maybe I'll share some of that journey. And so I looked up when 12 weeks is from today, which is about November 19th, if memory serves me. I also asked the computer, but I didn't wait for the answer to tell me when 7 weeks is from now. So my thought and my struggle in the past with perfectionism is that I have wanted to do it perfectly and to be perfect, which is impossible, which is frustrating. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just start over from scratch. And, in my mind, part of that is, doing it, quote, the right way and doing it perfectly. And I also thought about reading over my notes because the book actually gives you quite large margins, which I really love because I like to highlight and underline. And so I was writing all over that book, putting some of my own examples of what she was talking about there, and maybe putting dates because I also wanted to track when I had read it, because this is definitely something that you read and reread. But also, OMG, there are multiple versions. So I got another version. I think I may have done, actually my nieces in Ohio, I sent them a version for kids, but I also sent a book to my mother-in-law, which was like the retirement version. So, what else do I want to say? So, then what I was thinking is maybe I'll just review what I've already done and go from there. So I might take some time, whether it's days or maybe even a couple weeks, or I might decide I want to redo from scratch or just redo week 2 and week 4. I don't know. But would you like to join me on this journey? Also, my sister-in-law, she joined a group. They have groups out there, and she paid something, I don't know how much it was, to be part of this group, but then it's accountability partners, which is wonderful. I'm thinking maybe you could be my accountability partner. At least the one of you who's listening. No, more than one of you is listening. I know I'm building my tribe, and I'm so excited that you're here with me. So, in closing, I'm going to remind you and myself that I am not here to be perfect. I am here to be present, to speak, to be heard, to heal, and just maybe to set someone else free. So until next time, I remain unapologetically yours.